for a moment here. Now, now we're going to talk about the difference between Gen X and Gen Z. Okay. Now, Gen X came out from 65 to 80. That's a pretty big gap there. And kind of a 15-year gap. 65, 75, that's 10. 80, that's 15 years. And a lot of things happened during the Cold War, the Vietnam War, civil rights of era, the whole it got pretty crazy, and during that time, ARPA, ARPA, ARPANET. And it was created by the military for communication. Okay. And it was only used twice to send message. It was used because of the war in Vietnam and such like that, in the Cold War as well. Now, it's really a kind of a weird time, but I don't know when they stopped using ARPA. But during that time period of the Cold War, you had the ARPANET, you had the beginning of video games in the 70s, starting in the 70s, right? Now, video games started in the early 70s, about 72, and you had computers being created for the home in the mid late 70s, and you had cell phones being introduced. First ever cell phone call ever made was 1982. Then you had VCRs that were popping up, making Betamax obsolete over time. You had vinyl records about to go obsolete for CDs in the late 80s, early 90s. But in the late 80s, early 90s was the creation of the World Wide Web. It didn't take off until 1992, about 93-ish, fully. It was the dial-up era. And it wasn't about the early to close to the mid-2000s that the wireless internet was coming in. And the dial-up was down out. If your parents had AOL and you heard, you got mail, that means you got an email. You got mail. And now the difference between my generation and Gen Z is that we were born between ARPANET and the beginning of the internet. We were born before the internet, Hey, Jackie! And we didn't need the internet to search something. We had encyclopedias, we had books, dictionaries, all that shit to find information. We had to go to the library. That was our information place, We didn't, I'm 50, and I just see the gray hair, I blame the wife for that, but of course we've been apart for 20 years, so. But Gen Zers from 99 to 2012, they relied on their smartphones. Look what we can do, Mom and Dad. Well, Look what we did, you little shit. We read. We talked to people. We didn't text. We didn't. We actually talked to people in person to their face. We actually sat down and had a discussion. You hurt my feelings. Um. Oh, really? See, our generation didn't give a fuck about your feelings, kids. We actually had no feelings. We actually were raised on sarcasm and hose water. We were latchkey kids, you know. While some of you Gen Zers were all being pampered and you're giving out trophies for competing, even though you didn't really win, and you're crying about it. Boo fucking who? We have four moves. Yeah. Yeah, we only have one. It's called not giving a fuck. Not giving a shit. So, I mean, over time, you gotta think about, how we grew up, Gen Zers, Gen Xers have, We grew up in a very weird time, but it was better. In our opinion, the 80s were better. The early 90s, I mean, the way we lived was better. That's our opinion. But you guys had it too easy. Way too fucking easy. Way too easy at all, period, man. The thing is, those aren't moods. Those are feelings, emotions, not moods, emotions. Mood is when you're feeling like, what's a mood? Let's see, happy mood, sad mood, pissed off mood. Those are moods, you know. Um, but the whole the fashion, the music. Let's see here, the style, the music, the way we listen to music. We had the Walkman. We had the Walkman. You know, we had CD players, even though they came out in the later time. Like, we got a CD player in our car. Well, good for you. I don't. I didn't need a CD. I didn't need a CD player. I had a radio. You Um, you Gen Zers go back in time and lived our life. You would not. You would be crying. Where's my smart? Where's my phone? And parents in my generation be like, "What phone? Here, use this." Say, look. If a Gen Zer went back in time to the 80s, where's my phone? Do you need his phone? Yeah. Oh, here you go. A Gen Zer sing a dial phone where you like where you go a rotary phone. It's like feeding garlic to a vampire. You know, I grew up with the rotary phone. Even the touch tone phones, like wow, what's this? It's called a phone, but instead of the rotary phone, you get buttons. Oh my god! But what? But why is it? It was part garlic, and part. Thank God, but no. It's like a smartphone to a Gen Z or Gen Alpha is like give them candy while driving a white van. I got a phone. even though you put like, even though you grew up in the '80s saying no, say it's stranger danger. I got phone, and I mean, look, I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer. I played the Atari, the OG Atari where I got to play pole position, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, right? Pitfall, Q*bert, and um to the to the NES, Mario Brothers, right? Let's see, Kung Fu. What else? What is there? Shit. Then you had the Super NES where you got to play. What was it? Double Dragon. I remember on the way to school, there's a gas station where you got to play Double Dragon for a good 5 minutes, and only a quarter for one play, right? But it was timed. 60 seconds. No, 60 minutes. Dude, the arcades was the best place to go, man. I mean, and where they at? You don't see an arcade anymore because that's ancient shit. Oh, kiss my ass. Arcades were the best place to go because you're with your friends, right? You're with your friends, man. And the last time we had an arcade in the area, it was in the early to mid '90s. That was the last arcade we had in the area. And when I was with my son's mom, we went to mountains where her teacher lived, and her husband had a warehouse of arcades. Like, I died and went back to the '80s. Like, dude, okay. Janet, how you doing, darling? What up, Jeanette? And I'm like, I've died and went to the '80s. Like, dude, no way. No way. Dude. I played at least 15 arcade machines, but I was looking like, I'm thinking, where's the one that became a conspiracy theory? A video game created by the CIA, right? And I was like, I'm looking for that arcade machine. I want to play it. I want to play it until I have a seizure. You know what I'm saying? And because in the early, about 81, 82, there's an arcade that came out, and it had a huge line. Kids about 12, 11, 12, 15, 13 were in line round the block just to play this one game. And after about, what was it, 3, 4, 5, about 4 months, gone, gone. And years later, it was out. It was the game that the CIA created. Go fuck yourself. And there was so many for years about the CIA got guys and such came in and got all the data from, like, what the word was, Whenever someone could come in, they wore a kind of one of those suits, and they go in and collect data from the. They're going in the back machine, collect data on all shit, and it was kind of a weird time too, you know. But you Gen Zers, you guys wouldn't know what to do with the arcade, in place of arcade machines. You know, you'd be like, I don't got a quarter. Do I pay for it with my iPhone? Where I put my pay my, where I put my Cash App card? Where, like there you go. See, we had a quarter. We had a quarter. If we went to an arcade, we used a quarter, right? Sometimes you'll really find a nickel machine to play, right? You know, and you would have at least $5 and quarters, $5 and quarters in my time, in our time, you know. And my favorite, pinball. Oh, I love pinball. Oh man, pinball wizard. You know? And it was a great time too. And here he went from the Cold War to early 2000s, the War on Terror, or the war that eroded our constitutional rights, courtesy George W. Bush, to a invasion of Iran, courtesy of Donald Trump on behalf of who? Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, come on, man. You know, shit. Some of you Gen Zers out there are almost 30. Yeah, some of you Gen Zers out there are almost 30. That's right. Some of you are almost 30. So understand where your elders know a little bit more than what you think you know. Because we lived it. We experienced it. We've been there, done that. So when you say Gen Z was a better generation, bullshit. Bullshit. See, the millennials know what we're talking about. Most of them were born in the 80s, grew up in the 80s, and in the 1990s as well. So they know what we're talking about too. Just the older ones, you know. The younger ones, between 95 and '05, that's the Menzies generation. No. 97, '02. That's the Menzies generation. You know, Menzies generation right there. You know. Like we have Zillennials. You have your Menzies. 97, '02. That's the whiny period. The whiny period. That expanded to later on in the mid 2000s. You know that shit. You know, and so yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, we grew up on sarcasm and hose water. We were latchkey kids, man. We lived it. We've been there, done that. We watched we had this. We watched this and listened to this. And dude, every generation would tell you the best time was this period, or this period, and they'll explain why it was better. You know, and so the thing is, you have to live it to experience it. It's not about who was smarter. It's about who experienced it, who lived it, who been there, done that. Okay? Gen Zers, you can't say, well, we're smarter. Bullshit. It's not about being smarter. It's about who lived it, experienced it, who's been there, done that, and seen it, and lived it. It's not about a generation saying, well, oh, we're smarter. No, we're smarter. See, baby boomers, millennials, Gen Alphas out there talking. But us Gen Xers, we were overlooked. We are the Pharaoh generation, man. We were overlooked, right? You had your silent era. You had your baby boomers, right? You had your millennials, Gen Zers, Gen Alphas. Where's the next? We were fucking overlooked, okay? We were overlooked. We became the missing generation. We were the overlooked generation. We were the latchkey kids, man. We were the, you know, fuck around, find out generation. We knew how to survive, man. That shit. Again, we lived it, we experienced it. We had things that you guys didn't have. We didn't need social media. We didn't need it then. We don't need it now. Do I need it? Honestly, no. Why do you have it then? Because I like to talk to people. I've been doing this for 15 years here on YouTube. 15 years, 2011. It'll be November of this year, it'll be 15 years. 15 years. I've been doing this on YouTube. And I was in my late 30s. Well, actually, I was in my, early 30s, mid 30s ish when I started YouTube. I'm 50 now. So I've been doing this for a long time, for a very long time. I would have loved to start in the mid 2000s when this came out, 20 years ago. Be awesome. But again, I'm 50, and it's not about who's smarter. It's about who lived it, who's been there, done that. Watch it. Here we got ARPANET came out during the Cold War, right? Early 90s, the internet, the World Wide Web, right? The 90s were kind of a cool time too. Let's see, the music was better, clothes were better, some cars were better. From 1995, that was better years for cars, trucks, and SUVs and shit. Why? Because you didn't have computers. Here's the thing, folks. Any new car from 2026 on will have a kill switch on it. Here's my advice: buy a used car and keep it. Why? Highly recommend a car or truck or wagon or SUV from from 95 back. Why? No computer. It's all analog. You don't need a vehicle with all the bells and whistles and shit. You need a simple vehicle where you can enjoy it. If you want air, turn on the air conditioning or roll down the window. It's analog. Well, mine has one of those push buttons. Hey, whether it has a button to push down the car windows or the roll ones, get that, right? But today's cars these days will have a kill switch for it. See, the thing is, us Gen Xers, we saw the future. We knew the future. Look, we knew we were going to be overlooked. We knew it. Because the thing is, Gen X will always be a feral, overlooked, and a FAFO generation. We're the lost generation. Okay. Everybody's talking about the baby boomers, the millennials, the Gen Zers, and Gen Alphas. Where's Gen X? I don't know. Have you seen Gen X? No. Have you heard of it? I don't know. I'm proof we are Gen X, man. We are overlooked. We are feral. We can live on hose water, sarcasm, and we are the FAFO generation, which means fuck around, find out. When you fuck with the Gen Xer. Alright? My name is Reverend Ordo, and this has been the Anonymous Republican Network. If you're new to this channel, like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification. Always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. And we'll all see you next time. Peace out. Godspeed. Buddha bless. And quote the Raven. Days, nights.